What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of For the Love of Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. We're going to be taking a look at tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. And I'm going to let you know right now, I wasn't impressed. Show begins with a taped promo from John Moxley where he talks about forming the BCC, the Blackpool Combat Club, what their mentor taught him, and who he favored, of course, alluding to but not mentioning by name William Regal. Mox says he's no villain, and he's also no hero. He says diplomacy has failed and he now chooses war. We then cut to the ring where Tony Schiavone introduces Christian Cage and the patriarchy, and Christian discusses how, at All Out, the light bulb finally went off in kill switch, and he's finally realized the monster that he is. Christian goes on to say that he is the current, reigning, and defending next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. We then go backstage with Don Callis and the Callis family, Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, and he's asked Will Ospreay to join them. Callis wants Ospreay to team with Fletcher in the Casino Gauntlet match this evening for a shot at the tag titles. Ospreay initially says no, but Fletcher convinces him, and Callis tries to remind him about the favor he owes him when he let him out of the family. Opening contest is for the TNT title. Jack Perry, the champ, versus Leo Rush. Match was decent, but it went longer than it needed. Rush botched the finish when he went for his stunner. Perry caught him with a couple of knees for the win. This was going to be a squash match. Perry didn't need to go this long. Perry then gets interviewed backstage as he heads to his bus, and he says that people like him get crucified in this life so they can be worshipped in the next one. Not a huge Perry fan, but I did like the promo and what he alluded to there. We then go to Renee with Hangman Adam Page, who says that he will find and hunt anyone who tried to protect Swerve. Page then proceeds to attack Jeff Jarrett when Jarrett tries to talk some sense into him, as if I needed any more of a reason to hate Adam Page. Private Party and Commander versus three jobbers gets completely thrown out when the BCC come in and attack all six competitors. Marina Shafir even putting one of them in a dragon sleeper. Pac gets on the mic and says the company is broken, that they are a product of this festering environment, that he's been lost for a long time and he now has something to believe in, and that this company is now theirs. We then see the Learning Tree stable arrive in a brand new Bentley. This will come back to play later. Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara. Good match, but predictable. How does Sammy even have a job still with all the drama he's caused backstage? The Beast Mortos comes out and attacks Ricochet post-match. Now, correct me if I'm wrong before I continue here. One of the reasons Ricochet left is because he felt like he was getting misused, right? His last match on Dynamite was 2 weeks ago. He was getting featured on Raw every week. Where are you getting misused, Ricochet? Yeah, I think you were just jealous that your girlfriend was getting paid more than you and more attention than you. We then go backstage to Renee Paquette and Kazuchika Okada. Okada talks about how easy All Out was for him. Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita come in, and Callis points out that Okada didn't pin Takeshita. Okada says that Takeshita will be a champion in AEW, just not the Continental Champion. Okada then proceeds to call them a bitch, and he leaves, sticking to his shtick, as Walter Cruz would say. Darby Allin then comes to the ring, says someone's been looking for him, and he's right here. Mox and Marina Shafir come out to the ring in order to confront Darby. Darby goes on this sob story about how he admired Moxley, blah, blah, blah. Mox wants Darby's title shot. After asking Darby to hand it over and being told no, Mox issues a challenge for Grand Slam that Darby accepts. Now, here's one of my biggest problems with AEW. I'm going to show you this picture. Marina Shafir is more intimidating than Darby Allin. This, in a nutshell, is my problem with AEW. The woman who's more or less been a joke for the entirety of her run looks more intimidating, like a bigger threat to any championship in the company than the number one contender to the world championship. That's the problem with AEW right then and there. We proceed with the show. It's 10 after 6 on the West Coast, 10 after 9 on the East Coast, so you know what that means. It's time for our gratuitous women's match as the Glamour, Mariah May, takes on Queen Aminata. Another eliminator match where the challenger loses. They couldn't even give the champ a full picture-in-picture commercial break. They started off with picture-in-picture, then went to full commercial. Now look, I mentioned this in a group chat I'm in, so give me a brief second here to go back to it. But another issue, when all the women in the division are trying to get a shot at Mercedes Moné and the TBS title because she's supposedly the greatest female wrestler of her generation, you automatically make the Women's World Championship less important. Don't get me wrong, I love Queen Aminata, but it's really the best they've got. Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa, they're all tied up in the TBS title picture, along with Statlander and Willow, leaving less than competitors for your Women's World Champion. After Mariah wins, she gets on the mic, says she wants Mina Shirakawa back. Baby girl, we all want Mina back. The Dumb Fucks then cut a promo about how they are the tag division. Those of you just turning in, the Dumb Fucks are how I refer to as the Young Bucks. We then get Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith versus the Iron Savages. Big Bill and Brian Keith do the work. Jericho gets the pin with the cocky, come on, baby, pin. After the match, he gets on the mic. He wants his $7,000 back from a jacket that Orange Cassidy destroyed 4 years ago. So Orange Cassidy repays the debt by dumping coins into Jericho's Bentley. We then get Nigel McGuinness on the mic, which was my profile for this video. He announces a match at Grand Slam between himself and Bryan fucking Danielson. Holy shit. Hook video promo talks about how he respects Roderick Strong, but he lost his respect for him when Roddy and his friends jumped him. Issues a challenge to Roddy anytime, any place for the FTW title. Main event Casino Gauntlet match. For those of you that don't know, the Casino Gauntlet match isn't a traditional gauntlet match. It's more of a Royal Rumble style where every so often, and the times do change, another team comes in. I don't know why they call it a gauntlet match when you don't have to eliminate a team to get another opponent. That's Tony Khan and his stupidity. But the match starts with FTR versus Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Good action to start things off. The Righteous come out as the third team. Can you dig it, man? Followed by the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We've now got 8 men in the ring. The Acclaimed come out as the fifth team, followed by the MXM Collection, the former Maximum Male Models in WWE. Top Flight come out 7th, followed by the Outrunners. The Grizzled Young Vets music hit, and they come out, but they get met by FTR on the entrance ramp. Ospreay hits Dante Martin with a hidden blade in the ring, allowing Kyle Fletcher to get the pinfall, and Ospreay and Fletcher will get the title shot at the Dumb Fucks at Grand Slam. And that, in a nutshell, is what happened on Dynamite tonight. Again, everyone knows my disdain for Adam Page. Everyone by now should know my disdain for the Young Bucks. Jack Perry is slowly starting to win me over with his work ethic, but too much elite. And like I pointed out, the fact that the sidekick right now to Jon Moxley, Marina Shafir, is more intimidating than Darby Allin, the number one contender to the world title, which that's up in the air because Darby's title shot is now on the line in the match against Moxley at Grand Slam. And the fact that all the top talent in the women's division are chasing the B title. You're killing me, Tony. You're killing me. I give this episode of Dynamite a D+, and I'm being generous. What did you guys think of this episode of Dynamite? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box. There will be no episode tomorrow when I review Impact, as following TNA's broadcast, we will be doing Simply predicting this week's Victory Road pay-per-view. I also won't be here Friday due to Victory Road coverage and the fact that I have to work. I will be back on Monday to talk about next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. And barring anything unforeseen, I should be here for pretty much the entire week. I'll update you guys on Monday if there's any changes. Excuse me. I want to thank you guys for joining me and tuning in tonight. Greatly appreciate it. And until tomorrow for Simply Predicting, and Monday for another episode of For the Love of Wrestling, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, thanking you for joining us, and I'll see you guys next time.